In the eerie depths of Gollum Cave, hidden on the side of Y Mountain in Provo, Utah, lies a chilling tale of exploration gone fatally wrong. In August 2005, 5 adventurous young adults embarked on a journey into the abyss, drawn by the allure of a little-known cave called the Cave of Death. Little did they know that this daring escapade would lead to a tragic breakdown, leaving only one survivor to recount the haunting events that unfolded in the heart of darkness. In the late summer of 2005, the mountainside of Y Mountain in Provo, Utah, concealed a chilling secret known among locals as the Cave of Death. 5 adventurous young adults, driven by curiosity and a sense of daring, decided to explore this little-known underwater cave. What began as a thrilling escapade into the unknown would soon unravel into a tragic tale of peril and loss. The group, consisting of 5 members, Jennifer Galbraith, Blake Donner, Scott McDonald, Ariel Singer, and Joseph Ferguson, found themselves drawn to the Gollum's Cave during a casual dinner conversation on August 17th. The cave, situated on the side of Y Mountain next to the Brigham Young University campus, was not an ordinary destination for hikers or explorers. Covered in a foot of water and with a narrow entrance requiring individuals to crouch down and navigate a 100-foot tunnel in a shallow stream, Gollum's Cave was not for the faint-hearted. However, for those initiated into its secrets, the challenge was alluring. The inner chamber is accessible through an 18 by 24-inch water-filled hole. But note this: Jennifer Galbraith had already explored the cave and survived. Jennifer encouraged her friends to venture into the cave with her, assuring them that they would be able to hold their breath and make it to the other side without a problem. She was confident despite the fact that she had sustained hypothermia and passed out the first time she had tested her luck in the Cave of Death. Now, on the fateful night, the clock struck 2 a.m. by the time the 5 friends reached the vicinity of the cave. Sitting outside, they contemplated the ominous entrance before finally deciding to venture into the shallow, foreboding cave. Blake, Scott, and Ariel joined Jennifer into the dark, narrow cave, while the 5th friend decided to stay behind and wait for their return. Jennifer disappeared under the cold water, and one by one the rest of the friends lowered themselves into the same narrow passageway, assuming that the other had made it across safely. But none of them made it out. Armed with only a single flashlight, the intrepid quartet made their way to the small opening in the cave's floor. The time was now 4:30 a.m., and the surrounding darkness added to the eerie atmosphere. A rope, anchored to a rock in the main cave, guided them through the underwater tunnel, tied to a piece of wood in the inner cave. However, the limited space inside the tunnel meant that the rope was not seen as necessary for the return journey, a potentially fatal oversight that would later prove disastrous. Brian Lamprey, a seasoned caver, recounted how he once overshot the exit hole on his return, realizing in a moment of panic that he was surrounded by rock walls. His frantic efforts to find the exit hole in the nick of time highlighted the inherent dangers of Gollum's Cave. On that ominous day, all 4 successfully navigated the short swim to the small cave just 15 feet away. The inner chamber, standing at 6.5 feet tall with a central peak reaching around 9 feet, provides limited space for movement. Approximately 3 feet of airspace above the water offered a brief respite from the cold, damp surroundings. Meanwhile, Joseph waited outside the main cave, uncertain about the duration of his friend's intended stay. With no clear plan established, he patiently waited, unaware that the group inside was facing an unforeseen and deadly threat. After nearly an hour, Joseph entered the cave and peered into the watery hole. To his alarm, there was no sign of the flashlight or any movement from the group. It was now 5:30 a.m., and uncertainty gripped Joseph as he pondered his next course of action. He reached out to a few friends familiar with the cave and eventually contacted the police at 6:25 a.m. The rescue operation faced numerous challenges as authorities grappled with the task of reaching the trapped individuals within the inner cave. Pumping air into the cave to restore depleted oxygen levels They simultaneously drained water to create airspace within the connecting tunnel for rescuers to access. As the water levels dropped, their fate was decided. The lifeless body of Jennifer was discovered just inside the tunnel. Ariel, Blake, and Scott were found together, facing toward the exit hole. Autopsies confirmed drowning as the cause of death, cementing the tragic fate that befell these young explorers. The investigation delved into the environmental conditions within Gollum's Cave that led to this devastating outcome. The cave's stagnant nature, coupled with a closed water source, contributed to a buildup of carbon dioxide. Factors such as erosion, seepage from plant decay, and the presence of burning candles further exacerbated the air quality issues. In the confined space of the inner chamber, visitors unwittingly depleted oxygen levels while carbon dioxide accumulated. The subtle evolution of these conditions unfolded gradually, leaving the explorers unaware of the deteriorating air quality. Even a brief stay in the inner cave diminished their capacity to think, move, and breathe, rendering the return swim a perilous endeavor. The sequence of events that unfolded inside the cave shed light on the critical moments that sealed the fate of the four friends. Jennifer, exiting first, faced the challenge of finding the narrow exit hole in a diminished state, her capacity for breath-holding compromised. The absence of the rope in her hand intensified the frantic search for the opening. Subsequent exits by Ariel, Blake, and Scott unfolded in an atmosphere saturated with carbon dioxide, affecting their respiration rates and inducing panic. In the narrow tunnel, Ariel's attempt to save an unconscious friend and the confusion that ensued highlighted the dire circumstances. Blake and Scott, breathing the increasingly toxic air, faced additional minutes of distress in the darkness. The final member, left alone in the dark inner cave, suffered the longest. In a diminished state, the journey through the tunnel was halted by the lifeless bodies of his friends. Unconsciousness likely overcame him swiftly, sealing his tragic fate. The authorities' efforts to rescue the trapped individuals involved pumping air into the cave and creating a passage for rescuers. The discovery of the lifeless bodies underscored the gravity of the situation, prompting the decision to fill the cave entrance with concrete to prevent further explorations and potential loss of lives. The Gollum Cave tragedy stands as a poignant reminder of the inherent risks associated with cave exploration. The allure of unknown depths can quickly transform into a perilous journey, claiming the lives of even the boldest adventurers. As the memories of Jennifer, Galbraith, Blake Donner, Scott MacDonald, Ariel Singer, and Joseph Ferguson linger, the sealed entrance to Gollum's Cave serves as a somber testament to the price paid for venturing into the heart of darkness. As we conclude this exploration into the haunting depths of Gollum's Cave, the tragic echoes of the Gollum Cave tragedy serve as a powerful reminder for every adventurer, both present and future. The tale of Jennifer Galbraith, Blake Donner, Scott MacDonald, Ariel Singer, and Joseph Ferguson resonates not only as a story of daring curiosity, but as a sobering lesson about the unforeseen risks that accompany such endeavors. The sealed entrance to Gollum's Cave, now a solemn monument, stands testament to the fragile balance between thrill-seeking and the stark realities of the unknown. It urges us to approach the unexplored with caution, respect, and a thorough understanding of the environments we dare to traverse. In memory of Jennifer, Blake, Scott, Ariel, and Joseph, let us carry forward the lessons learned from the depths of Gollum's Cave, ensuring that their story remains a beacon of caution and contemplation for generations of adventurers to come.